Good morning and welcome back to the program. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for a Friday. I'm your guest host, Steve Hare. Watching that final commercial there from Lone Pine Fruit Stand, it's making me a little hungry. Hey, it's got a great weekend to get out and about with the family, and there's a great family-oriented event that's taking place. In fact, it's going on right now at the Rocky Reach Dam Visitor Center. And joining us on our interview segment of the program today are two officials with Chelan County PUD, which is hosting the events. First of all, let's introduce to you Bob Bauer and Mario Cantu. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good to be here with you.
Good to have you on board. I know that you're an old hand at this, aren't you, Bob?
I've been around about 14 years.
14
so yeah,
years.
I'm in a recession right now officially. So.
Well, these guys are here to talk to us today about the big events that are taking place at Rocky Reach, at the Visitor Center down there, and the park, actually. We have the River Ramble, which is a popular annual event that takes place starting last night, actually, and
Yes.
continues for today. Mario Cantu is with the new Kids Fest program, which he'll be telling us about as well. First, let's introduce you to Bob Bauer and what it is you do for the PUD and what your function is.
Sure, I've been with the Chelan County PUD about 14 years, and I am the Communication and Education Specialist from Rocky Reach Visitor Center.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, I get to spend the vast majority of my time with lots of kids, anywhere from preschoolers all the way to the college level, teaching and sharing the marvel of hydropower, and just working with them, helping them understand energy transfer and all the good things that we have because of the Columbia River and because of the PUD.
Well, you do that in a number of ways, I know, variety of ways that you can teach kids about hydropower and the importance of that here in north central Washington. Mario, tell us about yourself.
Morning, Steve. Well, I started at the PUD about 7-8 months ago. My title is Education and Community Engagement Coordinator.
Oh, that's a mouthful.
It is. I think it's just a way that means that I get to do a lot of things with a lot of different departments, and it just needed a title big enough to allow me to do that, which I'm happy to do. I collaborate with external affairs and HR departments, and try to continue to find ways to improve, work with diversity groups, Hispanic, Latino community, and we're finding ways to continue to improve communication with the district and our customer owners.
Well, definitely it's a growing population in our valley, and well served by the PUD, and getting information out to that segment of our community is important, certainly. Let's talk about the big events that are coming up this weekend. River Ramble started last night in the rain.
It started in the rain, and man, did it rain. But you know what? Rain, sleet, hail, snow, nothing holds us back. We have several Native American tribes represented at this tribal gathering, and we danced in the rain last night, and we had a good crowd. The people came out, and folks got to experience several different educational stations, if you will. The kids were throwing at ladle, which are these kind of really cool spears that they teach the kids how to throw. We had the reptile man there last night.
Oh, he's always popular.
He's always popular, and you know, because of the rain and all, it wasn't quite as many as it typically is, but we still had a great crowd, but all the kids got to handle the alligator and the snakes, and it was a great time. And it continues tonight.
Can you tell us a little bit about the origins of River Ramble and how it came to be?
Sure. So part of our licensing agreement with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission,
FERC,
yeah, you're familiar with FERC, wants us to be engaged with all of our customer owners. And so that includes, you know, every culture and every diverse population you can imagine. And so we have a really unique partnership with the Native American tribes because we share this incredible natural resource, the Columbia River.
Well, you'd think that it's kind of, that there would be a little bit of a contradiction there.
Right.
Because you'd think that the Native Americans would want a free-flowing river and not dammed up. So
Right. And so
how do you win the hearts and minds?
Well, you do by absolutely doing the best you can to protect the ability to provide power, because it's so important, but also to protect the river and the species in the river. And so River Ramble was born kind of out of, you know, the idea that it's part of our license, but even more so, even if it wasn't part of our license, it's just the idea of bringing the community together, to work together, to understand each other, and to enhance our relationships. And so we started developing this curriculum for basically 6th, 7th, 8th grade level. We invited schools to come out, learn about Native American tribal sports and tribal games and tribal customs and plateau fishing and atlatl and flint knapping, which is the art of making, your arrowheads and your spears. And so we developed it there, but then we thought, why do it just for the kids? Why not invite families? And so tonight from 5 to 8, that's what it's all about. Families, grandma and grandpa, mom and dad, grandkids, kids, everybody comes out. It's free. They get to see the Native American dancing, experience all of those events.
Is there an encampment there as well? Or?
So, no, they're not encamping there.
Okay.
So we think of it as a tribal gathering, not a powwow.
Okay.
But they're all there. And like I said, we've got...
Which tribes are represented?
oh, my goodness. I brought
Yakima?
a list. And yes, Yakima's here. I just didn't want to leave any. I thought you might ask that question.
Yeah.
And
You're
so,
all prepared for that.
yeah, we've got the Colville Confederated Tribes, we've got Nez Perce, we've got the Choctaw Nation, we've got the Tlingit Tribe of Alaska, Umatilla, Yakima Nation, Columbia Plateau, Warm Springs Confederated Tribes, the Cree Tribe out of Alberta, Canada, the Klamath Tribe, the Cherokee Tribe. We've got Roger Ammerman, just as one example, a world-renowned Native American artist. He has stuff in the Smithsonian.
Oh, wow.
And just incredible. And we've got several of that caliber. It's just a great opportunity for families to come out tonight. We're 5 to 8 tonight is when we are. They're going to be dancing at 6 p.m. But throughout the night, there's all kinds of events, and really would encourage families to come out tonight.
It almost resembles the Salmon Festival in that you do incorporate the tribal influences.
Absolutely.
As well, which is really great, I think.
Absolutely. We consider ourselves partners.
Well, when you think about salmon protection and
Absolutely.
and the PUD's Habitat Conservation Plan, certainly you're all on the same page in terms of what your goals are.
And that is so wonderful. I don't know, a lot of people don't know, we're the only dam on the Columbia River that doesn't spill for spring Chinook. And the reason is we built that incredible bypass system out there.
Amazing.
And just in visiting with some of the members of the tribes last night and kind of talking about it, they just love it. And so, man, that's win-win. The fish win, we win, everybody wins.
Oh, that's fantastic. So Mario Cantu is also joining us here. Mario is the Education Community Engagement Coordinator for the PUD. Yes. And I guess you're kind of helping organize this Kids Fest also this coming up.
That's correct. And how wonderful is it to work for an organization that will host a river ramble the night before, and then a few hours later we're on again doing Kids Fest, and just really does speak to the great efforts Chelan PUD is making to be very diversified, very inclusive. And we're on again on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This event was kind of born of the idea of celebrating a very popular holiday in the Latin American culture called Dia del Niño, which happens to be April 30th. But April 30th is always apple blossom. So we thought of pushing it out a couple weeks, and went ahead and partnered up with some wonderful community partners. We have La Nueva radio station, which is a big partner of Chelan PUD. We have
El Mundo?
We don't have El Mundo, but we have the Milt, we have Winston Beverage, we have the Wenatchee Valley Museum will be there with the maker space. We're thinking of setting up all kinds of fun activities. We have an obstacle course. We have a small soccer field that we're going to be setting up out there. We even got pony rides out there, so you got to show up early. The pony rides will only be there from 11 to 1, but what I'm trying to highlight here is the willingness to work with each other, that collective effort that Public Utility District will go out and partner with the radio station, with the museum, with other community partners, and put this event together. It's just wonderful. And of course, thanks to Bob and Debbie and all the folks at Rocky Reach and the Visitor Center for the wonderful collaboration. I'm excited and looking forward to it. This is the first time. So Kids Fest 2017 pilot program, here we go. We'll see how it goes.
A lot of activities, a lot of fun things to do for the family. And as always, kids are always, there's nothing to do around here, right? right? Well, the PUD is going to make sure that they have something to do this weekend. In fact, bring the kids down because the parents are going to have fun too, right?
Oh, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, sounds
Absolutely.
like a lot of fun. Mario Cantu and Bob Bauer joining us from the Chelan County PUD, telling us about the River Ramble and the new Kids Fest this weekend at Rocky Reach Dam Visitor Center and to Kirby Billingsley Park, correct? Or no, that's...
No, we're out at
this
Rocky
is the
Reach.
Rocky Reach
Yep.
Park, that's right.
Rocky Reach.
Anyway, we'll be back with more, talk more about the big events and more about what these guys do at the PUD as Wake Up Wenatchee Valley continues. It's being brought to you by Weinstein Beverage Aquafina. As you're looking at here, our beautiful Aquafina sparkling water offered in a number of delicious fruit flavors. Each sleek, single-serve, 12-ounce can contains just 10 calories, folks. The tiniest pinch of fair trade certified sugar for a smooth, crisp finish. So thanks to Weinstein Beverage for providing us with our drink here, Aquafina sparkling water. We'll be back with more on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Steve Hare.
Welcome into Leavenworth. The arrival of spring is your invitation to visit Leavenworth Mayfest. Mayfest is this Friday through Sunday. Stop on by any day for live music and fun. Be a part of the Grand March on Saturday and come for Mom's Day specials on Sunday. It is always a treat to visit these sponsors.
Stop by Marson & Marson for all your lumber and building materials. And across the highway is Marson & Marson Design Center. Fine flooring, cabinetry, and more.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan Mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time, Mary Maids.
The NCW Life Channel serves as Wenatchee's local TV station. Our channel highlights community growth, information, sports, and entertainment. You can experience the news, events, and people of North Central Washington on the station that is committed to the area we call home.
Beautiful weekend on tap here in the Wenatchee Valley. I'm Steve Hare, your guest host this week for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Our guest segment on the program right now includes a talk about the upcoming events that are occurring this weekend at Rocky Reach Dam at the Visitor Center there and in the park. River Ramble. Bob Bauer with the PUD is organizing that big event, and Mario Cantu, also with the PUD, who's organizing another big event that's taking place at the park this weekend, and that would be the Kids Fest. We'll learn a little bit more about that in our recap. But first of all, Mario, we were talking to you before the break. Want to learn a little bit more about you. Can you introduce yourself to our NCW Life viewers this
Sure, absolutely. Once again, Mario Cantu, Education and Community Engagement Coordinator for Chelan PUD. I've been with the district for about 7 or 8 months, but definitely have been pretty well connected with the community over the last several years, doing a lot of community outreach, and I think that is what has positioned me well in this role as with the district to continue to utilize those networking groups and that collaboration among different sectors to be out in the community and open up a two-way conversation where not only are we sharing information that is valuable for the district, but we're also open to feedback from customer owners and bringing that feedback back into headquarters and keeping that in mind as we plan to move forward, doing more outreach or sharing more valuable information.
Well, communication is key.
Yes.
You know, and with a growing Latino population here in Chelan County, obviously your services are increasingly needed then.
You know, we hosted our first event, and when I say we, I really mean me. It's a habit, I guess, but I feel like I'm really never by myself. I have great collaborators like Bob, like everyone in the district. So we hosted our first big Hispanic Latino event, so to speak, in December called Fiesta Decembrina, and it was a cold Sunday night. The event started at 8 p.m., ended at 10 p.m., and we're anticipating a little bit of a crowd, but surprisingly enough, we had people lined up before the event even started. Mm-hmm. We ended up having over 200 people in and out over the 2-hour span. And more importantly, it helped us start building that relationship and start opening those conversations and start to have that dialogue where Chelan PUD is more than just a place where you come pay your power. We own and operate 14 parks, 3 dams. We have water, electricity, power, outage and safety. Chelan PUD is a wonderful organization, and it's a huge asset for a community. And it's just important to make sure to share that information in a bicultural, bilingual way to make sure we have all the sectors and all the information out there as needed.
So you and Bob work fairly closely together then, don't you?
Oftentimes.
Mm-hmm.
We're really separate in many ways, but we're pretty much joined at the hip in other ways.
Bob, you're the guy with the tenure here, at least in this conversation. 14 years.
14 years. I think I've got tenure on him no matter how you look at it. I just think I got some years on him.
How do you, you may have history here, you can share your perspective on, let's say, the level of knowledge or awareness that our valley has regarding hydropower and its significance here.
It's incredible. And the reason it's incredible is because we start so early. I'll give you an example. May 23rd through June 2nd, I believe, we're going to have about 1,600 fourth graders spend the day at Rocky Reach. Prior to them coming to Rocky Reach on that day, they're going to do several modules in school that revolve around hydropower and how we transfer energy from the river to the light bulbs in their house. Then they come out to Rocky Reach, and you got 1,600 fourth graders out there, and they're seeing firsthand, they're building their own dams, they're working their own bypass systems. And so when you start that early, and the idea is to just teach kids this wonderful thing we call truth. It's not just power, it's not just fish, it's power and fish. And if we, the human resource, manage and take responsibility for that natural resource, the Columbia River, and if we treat it with respect, we can have both and have a great outcome. And so it's hugely different when I see a fourth or fifth grader from the valley versus maybe a visiting school who's not in a county-owned district, you know, where the utility district is owned by the ratepayers. So they come from the west side or wherever, and they don't have that understanding. So yeah, the level of understanding here starts early, and it just moves right up.
Well, it wasn't until I moved up here to the Wenatchee Valley that I learned that they don't grow power poles, okay? They don't have power pole farms, in other words.
Right.
See, I thought that when I first moved up.
We have about 25,000 that we take care of here in the valley, actually,
know you do.
11 power poles.
So, Bob, do you have some new events or some ongoing events that are going on, too, that you'd like to tell our listeners?
Yeah, you know, so we've got this really cool event. It's the FWEE, which is FWEE. It's an acronym for the Foundation for Water and Energy Education. And we've partnered with them, and we have built this fabulous high school hydro STEM meaning science, technology, engineering, math academy. We've partnered with our local high schools and the college, so students going into the 9th through 12th grade can attend that 5-day academy coming up in June 19th through 23rd. And if they do the academy, they can be going into 9th grade and they're automatically enrolled in Wenatchee Valley College and they get their first college credits.
Oh, so it is credited.
Oh, yes, absolutely. This is a top-notch. We just won the Best Education at this level award in the nation.
Wow.
Back at in D.C., my supervisor just went back to get it. It's an incredible program. So we're still receiving late applications. So if there happens to be a parent or a grandparent of a high school student who has that kind of set of skills and they might be interested in some really cool careers, I really encourage them to give us a call out at Rocky Reach and we can point them in the right direction.
Give us that phone number, would you please?
So 663-7522, and then just ask for Bob. There's only one of me out there and they all know, oh yeah, it's that guy. So,
Okay.
Yep.
And don't forget, folks, this weekend at Rocky Reach Park and at the Visitor Center, the River Ramble and Kids Fest. Go out and have a great time. It's all family-oriented fun. And best of all, it's free to the public this weekend. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen, here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Mario Cantu, great to meet you.
Great to meet you as
And
well.
Bob,
Thanks
thanks
for having
again
us.
for
Steve,
stopping
nice to meet
by.
you. Thanks for having us.
And hey, Dan Coons is back next week with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for joining us.